believe that people who stay home from church and listen to sermon audio, listen to other broadcasts, instead of going to church, are making a mistake. I believe that if at all possible, they should try to find a church in their area that is basically reformed, even if it's not perfect, but they should go to church and find the best church they can that teaches biblical Reformed faith. They can then, of course, go on sermon audio and other means and do that during the week, or do that in between services on Sunday, and still feed their souls if they don't feel that the local church is feeding them to the degree they should. But we need to belong, if at all possible, to a body of believers. Now, it is possible, of course, that you live in an area where there's just no church that can even come close to bringing the biblical faith. There can be exceptions, but the general rule is to put yourself under the Word of God in a church of God where you worship the people of God together. Now, other people believe the Reformed faith and stay in Pentecostal churches or other churches that perhaps are not altogether sound. And even when there is a Reformed church in the area that is sound, what should we make of that? Well, I think that you shouldn't ever leave a church easily or lightly. Before you should leave a church, you should always go to the pastor, not to other people, not create trouble in the church, but go to the pastor and say this: you know, I believe that there's a problem with your preaching. Tell him what you do appreciate about him, but then point out the problem and have a text ready to explain your viewpoints. Don't just have a general vague statement, but have specific points, and be very polite, be very respectful. And if the pastor completely rejects your views and that church rejects your views, your biblical views, then you have freedom to go to the other Reformed church in the area. But don't just leave right away. Try to change things from within. But also don't cause trouble in the church and speak behind the pastor's back. That would be my advice on these two questions.